Hi guys, my name is Ekaterina Nikitina and you're on our channel where we are talking about the properties all over the world. And today I'm on a wonderful island on Cyprus and I'm meeting with one of the largest developers here on the island with Cybarco.
Cybarco is a leading developer in Cyprus, creating iconic projects since 1945. Their portfolio includes luxury residential developments, such as Trilogy Limassol Seafront, Akamas Bay Villas, Limassol Greens, Limassol Marina, Actia Residences, and Park Residences. These properties are located in prime areas, offering exceptional living standards. Investing in Cybarco Real Estate presents an opportunity for stable returns and long-term capital growth.
So I'm invited to talk about the real estate here, Savas Pastelis, the senior sales manager in Cybarco company. Hi Savas, thank you very much for having us, for finding time for us and welcoming us in your projects with such a wonderful view of the Marina. So we've known each other for many years already. I know that you are as a developer who already delivered a lot of projects here on Cyprus and with a very high quality. And me personally, I've made also a number of sales here and the clients are very happy. And also you are the developer of such an important, not only for the Limassol, for the city, a very important project was called Limassol Marina, so where we are right now. So I would like to talk about generally the real estate market here, and let's start from your company. So can you give us just some details?
Katerina, first of all, many thanks for your kind words. It's a great pleasure to have you with us today in one of the last remaining apartments, meaning still available to sell in Limassol Marina. First of all, a few words about Cybarco Development Limited. We are one of the largest developers in Cyprus. We have brought a number of key projects in the market, starting from the first golf course in the island, Aphrodite Hills, situated between Paphos and Limassol. Limassol Marina is the first marina that has been fully completed in the island. It is literally an extension of the city, of the old part of the city into the sea. Moving on, we are very close to delivering the first two towers of our flagship project, Trilogy Limassol Seafront, that actually we can see across the horizon. We have brought in the market the first office building in Limassol called the Oval, and we recently launched a new major project for which we are very excited, Limassol Greens, which is a golf course with solid commercial infrastructure and over 750 residential properties on the west part of Limassol, next to the recently opened casino resort of Limassol. Concerning the company is part of the Lanidis group of companies. The group goes back to the 19th century. Cybarco Development was formed in 1945, so it's already over 70, close to 80 years old. Other than our major projects, we have a small number of smaller projects, tailor-made built buildings, mostly in Limassol, but also in Nicosia. And we also have a beachfront project of villas in the picturesque Lachi area called Akamas Bay Villas next to the Akamas Peninsula.
Yeah, Akamas actually, it's one of my favorite projects because, guys, it's really one of a kind. It's villas which is located on the first line of the sea, on the greenest area of Cyprus, just next to the national park of Akamas. So it's really like one of a kind. You will not find something like this on Cyprus. So, Savas, why Cyprus? I mean, it's quite a small island, so why it's so attractive for international buyers? I mean, it's it's always have been an interest from international buyers from different countries. So what is the reason behind?
There are a number of reasons that when you combine them or when they, let's say, interact with each other, make Cyprus a rather attractive area, a rather attractive country for international buyers to invest in real estate. First of all, Cyprus is a European Union country. It has euro as its currency. It offers the stability of a strong international currency and the framework of the European Union. That means that the country complies with all the norms and high values that the Union brings about. Secondly, the country has amazing climate as it is situated on the southeastern part of the Mediterranean. So other than the climate, the country offers a very healthy environment in which to live in, with fresh fruit and vegetables across the year. It is a place that has very good and easy access with a lot of destinations in Europe, in Middle East, towards, let's say, Russia and the eastern part of Europe, and so on. We used to be a British colony, so we have a very solid educational system, and our legal system is based on the common law, which is easy for international buyers to understand. The government is business and investment friendly, and for many years Cyprus has a tax system that is rather liberal and allows international buyers to optimize their tax obligations and, let's say, not have high tax burdens. We do not have any taxation at all on property ownership in Cyprus, which is very important because for international investors, having multiple properties in Cyprus doesn't imply any cost on them. Again, as I said, the government is favoring foreign direct investments, so we have seen in recent years lots of companies coming in from many different sectors. We have seen major investments in areas like IT, in areas like FX trading, in currencies and so on. We have seen major investments in shipping, in education, in health. A lot of foreign companies are coming in and, let's say, taking major stakes into colleges, universities in Cyprus, private clinics and hospitals and so on. So when these companies are making investments of this type, they are bringing along a number of their managerial staff who are looking for high quality level properties in projects that have solid infrastructure and are very well located. And as Cybarco, we are very well placed to, let's say, meet such demand because our projects have critical size, they are in excellent locations, and they are offering solid infrastructure and services on site.
Okay, so you said that a lot of companies also are moving here, and I know that there are some special taxation for the IT companies, and a lot of companies are actually moving the headquarters here. Not only headquarters, also they are relocating their employees from different countries to Cyprus, and of course there is a high demand for rent and for buying properties here. So that's the question is regarding also, the infrastructure. The passport program, we all knew that it stopped in 2020. 2020 was it, and just before some years it was high demand for luxury product, and now we see that a lot of projects which started that year is now finished, and it's changed actually dramatically the landscape of the city, and we see that a lot of wealthy people are coming here, and it's also affect the level of services, which is good. What do you think about this?
Well, Limassol is a small city as far as, let's say, the size of its population. It's now about 300,000. But as far as the product offering that you can get in Limassol concerning the quality of lifestyle, the safety of living in the city, the number of international schools that allow families to relocate in Cyprus and offer to their children a solid, very, very high level quality of education. The number of prime hotels with 2 major hotels opening only in the last 2 or 3 years. Number of restaurants with offering different kind of cuisine, from local to international, European, Oriental, and so on, combined with the tax, let's say, regime that allows international entrance, people from abroad entering the labor market to pay rather low taxes compared to their original countries of destination, is turning Limassol into a booming center. We have a flourishing sector of international companies across the board. And as I said already, I mean, this is a place with over 300 days of sunshine. It's November 12th, 11th today, and it's 25 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and will be like 15, 16 degrees at night. All these things combined with the fact that we have two international airports, Larnaca, the main airport, and Paphos, direct flights to over 50 countries in the region, make Cyprus, and particularly Limassol, the place to live, the place to be. And finally, as you said, if we look at the beachfront of Limassol, we will see more than 6 or 7 building high-rise projects already being completed, and a lot of happy, let's say, owners and tenants already living in Limassol.
And also, there is an opportunity to obtain a residence permit if you invest here for over 300,000. So, which is also quite important, that you don't need to think about the extending visa or something. You can buy a property, obtain a residence permit for your family, and live here for a whole year round. You can send your children to the school, and also after 7 years, I think it's possible to apply for the citizenship if you live the most of the time here in Cyprus, and if you pass the exam, of course.
Okay, our permanent residence scheme is, as you said, applicable, still valid, and the people who have invested at least 300,000 euro in a newly bought property, residential property, they could apply for to obtain PR for themselves and their families. There is strong demand for such type of properties from a big number of foreign countries. We have seen demand, traditionally we have seen demand from Russia, but in recent years we have seen demand from a number of Arab countries, from Israel, and a number of European countries that are not in the European Union and so on. Concerning applying for to get citizenship, as you correctly said, you may apply 7 years after obtaining the permanent residency, and a key requirement is to be able to explain and show to the authorities that you have strong ties to Cyprus. You need, in the last year before application, to be permanently based in Cyprus, and you need to pass the criteria concerning speaking Greek.
Okay, but anyway, it's a good opportunity that it's just in some certain countries where you can obtain the permanent residence permit by buying properties.
One important characteristic of our permanent residence scheme is that you get it for life. Basically, it's something that you have until, you don't need to renew it on any given period every 3 or 5 years or 10 years.
But you need to keep the property then.
You need, during having the PR, to keep either the initial property that you bought, or you may replace it with another property of at least 300,000 value with the same characteristics being bought from the primary market.
Savas, I know that you are working with different nationalities, so like managing the sales. Can you share with us the information? I mean, how the volume of sales has changed recently? I mean, last year or the year before, was it good years?
Okay, coming out from the pandemic, both 2021 and 2022 were very, very good years in sales. Actually, 2022 was the best year since 2008, with over almost 13,000 contracts of sales related to new transactions filed with the land register. This year, we have statistics for the first 10 months until the end of October, and sales are 19% higher as compared to 2022, which, as I said, was the best year since 2008. The increase in activity is spread out across the island. Larnaca district is having the highest increase in sales with 32%. Paphos is second with 25%, and Limassol is third with 18% increase in sales. Just to give you some more statistics about the market, this year, over 45% of sales are done to foreigners, non-Cypriots. So the share of sales done to buyers from abroad is very big. It's actually half of the market, because a number of foreign buyers are choosing to buy property, especially investors, through Cyprus-based companies. Investors across the world are putting assets on special purpose companies for a number of reasons. One of them is if they use them in the future to obtain income through rentals, the effective tax rate is much lower if the property is owned on a company rather than owned on an individual. So we see big transactions of properties with big value being done on companies. So half the market essentially is driven by foreigners, and this is a characteristic of the market for the last, I would say, 35 to 40 years. So foreign buyers are nothing new to Cyprus, and we feel very confident that the trend will continue, if not strengthen to a higher level.
Mm-hmm. So what about all these crises which are taking place in different parts of the world, like the crisis between Russia and Ukraine, Palestine and Israel? How does it affect somehow the market? Because I know that you have quite a number of clients from these countries.
Okay, I would say that actually, I will go a bit before the crisis you just mentioned. I would say that the pandemic has basically showed to all of us that many people can work remotely. They don't have to go to the office on a daily basis. It has created these nomads, as we call them. Cyprus has been effective in attracting a lot of these nomads, especially from Israel, but from other countries as well, on specific sectors related to IT and digitalized sectors of the economy and so on. Definitely the crisis between Russia and Ukraine that started in February last year has brought a lot of activity in the country, with people from both countries, Russia and Ukraine, looking into Cyprus to relocate families or have a place where it is safer to live. And unfortunately, the recent events in just across Israel and Palestine are very close. It's less than 30 minutes by plane. Tragic events in Palestine and Israel, in all likelihood, will lead to further demand, more stronger demand from Israel, but also from Lebanon for real estate in Cyprus. Actually, Israelis have been buying very strongly the last 3-4 years in Cyprus. And we also have very strong demand from Lebanon, particularly for Larnaca. Lebanon is also very close to Cyprus, and the Lebanese have started buying real estate in Cyprus as early as the late 1970s. So for them it is a known environment. Now, if I could also say a few words about prices and
yes, that's also the next question is how the prices has changed for the last, let's say, 3-5 years.
Actually, like every market, prices don't change across the board. There are different markets concerning, let's say, regions, and there are different markets concerning the segment of real estate. So it's commercial, residential, apartments, villas, and so on. Now, the more robust price rises in Cyprus in the last 5 years, but particularly the last 2 years, we are seeing in the beachfront cities, Limassol, Paphos, and Larnaca. And here we see higher price increases in apartments as compared to villas. We also see very strong price rises in office buildings, especially newly constructed with good infrastructure. If I could go into some numbers, I would say that in Larnaca and Paphos, the last 5 years, apartment prices have been rising by an average of 8 to 10% a year, whereas in Limassol, this growth is from 6 to 8% on average. But as I already said, there are big fluctuations between specific regions and specific projects and so on. Commercial real estate showing even higher price rises in the beachfront cities, and this is driven by the strong demand that for offices that we already mentioned, from major companies deciding to come into Cyprus and relocate parts of their business into Cyprus. Having spoken about prices, I want to say some basic words, basic information about rental yields, especially in the 2 last years, driven by demand from Russia, Ukraine, and Israel. Rental rates, especially in Limassol, Paphos, and Larnaca, have risen even more strongly than price rises. We can say that whereas historic yields for apartments are around 5 to 6%, that is the rental yield, the annual rental yield is 5 to 6%. This has changed to close to 10% in the last 2 years. So we are seeing a major shift in increase of rental rates, especially in the beach nearby, in the seafront, let's say, cities of Limassol, Larnaca, and Paphos. But we're also seeing strong increase in Nicosia, because Nicosia is taking some of the slack of people who cannot find a good accommodation, let's say, in Limassol at rates that are affordable, and are moving into Nicosia, where actual rates are more reasonable. And Nicosia is also showing very strong demand for rental properties. And as I said already, the recent events in Israel and Palestine we expect in the foreseeable, let's say in the very short term, after 2 or 3 months, to bring a lot of people, especially from Israel, coming into Cyprus looking for properties to rent.
So, and this is the question, why do you think, we've talked about why Cyprus is interesting for investment, and also do you think that this trend will continue? And let's point the 3 main, let's say, key points why Cyprus is interesting for investors.
Well, we expect this to continue because in some way there are external events like what is going on recently in Israel. It's bound to bring a lot of Israelis to Cyprus. We are expecting a lot of Israelis to Cyprus. Cyprus is the closest non-Arabic or non-Muslim country to Israel. We already have excellent ties with the country. We have excellent ties with Arab countries as well. Cyprus is the only country that I can think of that has good relationships with both Israel and the Arab countries. So I think these crises are going to create stronger demand from specific countries, not only Israel but also Russia. But having said that, other than these external events, Cyprus continues to be a rather attractive destination for relocating, for moving your families, due to the high quality of life, the relaxed, stress-free environment that we see here, excellent weather, the opportunities to work and pay lower taxation, the investment-friendly government policies that have been in place for many years. So even though let's say the macro environment is not very friendly due to the higher interest rates that we see, inflationary pressures and so on, we expect Cyprus real estate continue to be of high interest from international buyers.
Guys, so if you're interested in investment on Cyprus, you would like to get more information about the projects here, you can send me a message. You will find all my contact details just below the video, and there you can also find the link to download the presentation about the most luxurious projects here on Cyprus. And if you would like to meet with Cybarco, also let me know. I would be happy to arrange this meeting. Thank you very much, Savas. That's really a pleasure to sit here. I love Cyprus. I've been here many times. I've lived here for a while. Now I'm living in Dubai, and traveling from Dubai to Cyprus, it's actually very important that there are direct flights. So it's you can come here, it's a direct flight if you are like based in Dubai, for example. And the weather is different. There are a lot of greeneries because in Dubai, you know, it's a lack of greenery.
Not only Dubai, there are direct flights to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, and different countries actually. And here there are two airports in Larnaca and Paphos, and from Paphos you can easily get to any countries of Europe. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Galerina, as well for giving us the opportunity to share with you and your audience and some basic information about our company and the Cyprus real estate market.
Thank you. See you guys on the next episode.